Zane Jackson April 22, 2018 7:55 p.m. 1. Miller's defensive and defensive efforts. A match winner. Touk Miller took out the Marcus Ashcroft Medal with a sensational performance at the Gabba. Miller started in a tagging role on Dayne Zorko, and by the end of the match he had eclipsed last year's All-Australian midfielder. Miller kept Zorko to just 6 touches to halftime and only 10 in total, all while racking up 21 touches and 7 clearances himself. A passage of play that typified Miller's tenacity was 5 minutes into the third quarter when a Zorko tackle led to a Miller handball being intercepted by Alan Christensen. Christensen chipped over the top to a running Zorko, but he was chased down and tackled well by Miller for holding the ball. And he capped off his day with a stunning match-saving smother. With just over 2 minutes remaining, young Lion Jacob Allison was preparing to launch a long kick from outside 50, but Miller came from nowhere and flew across his feet to keep the Lions at bay. A well-deserved best on ground, too. Suns hold on for massive win. It was a nervous win for the Suns in the end, with the Lions coming home strong in the last quarter, and Coach Stewart too will be ecstatic his side was able to hang on. The Lions won both Q-Clash encounters in 2017 with a narrow 2-point victory at Metricon Stadium in Round 1 and a 58-point thumping at the Gabba in Round 21. But Dew was able to turn the tables in his first Q-Clash, with the Suns triumphing at the Gabba for the first time since Round 19, 2015. It was a great response by Gold Coast after successive heavy defeats to West Coast and Fremantle. QCLASH Thriller, full match coverage and stats. 3. Not all the action was on the field. Fans leaning over the fence to catch a home run or foul ball is a common sight in baseball, but you don't often get this in the AFL. A fan in a promotional seating section of the Gabba tried to reach over the fence to nab the Sharon after a Nick Allman shot went through for a point. It didn't end too well for the unlucky fan. In a move that could have been inspired by the gymnastics at the recently completed Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast, the spectator missed the ball, overbalanced, grabbed a bar and flipped forward. Points to him for not falling face forward on the ground, but it appears his efforts weren't appreciated by the police, with reports he was taken away from the area. Hodge responds to criticism with 4 premierships and 2 Norm Smith medals to his name. Luke Hodge hasn't attracted much criticism in his 17-year career. However, after the Lions' 93-point loss last week, former St Kilda captain Danny Frawley had Hodge in his sights, suggesting the new Lion should sit in the grandstands and put his hand up and play very rarely. Hodge responded on Sunday night with a solid performance, notching 19 possessions and 6 marks while marshalling the backline well despite the loss. He more than earned his place on the field, and the Lions need his experience. 5. Lions slumped to 0-5. Sunday night was another game where the Lions came close but just couldn't get across the line. They fought hard against Melbourne in Round 2 to draw level in the last quarter from 42 points down, but couldn't get across the line at the Gabba. They then came close against Port Adelaide in Adelaide but fell short by 5 points the week after. The trend continued in the Q-Clash with a good comeback that ultimately failed in front of a home crowd desperate for a win. The task doesn't get any easier with a trip away to Sydney to take on a Giants team out for revenge after a last-gasp draw against St Kilda on Saturday.